Okay, well, 2 o'clock. We are just about 2 o'clock, but I think we are ready to start. I thank all of you for coming here for this demonstration and I guess presentation is more likely of Sonarlike Iceberg Finder. This is an indicator that really gives you a map of what is going on. I'll be showing you live charts. I'm going to go through the slideshow. I'll be showing you live charts from today. You know, I never cherry pick from today. And really, what this gives you is it shows you institutional activity. It shows you liquidity grabs. It shows you absorption, and it shows you what is it that the money that moves the market, the institutions, what is it that they're doing? Where are they buying? And where there could be possible reversal points. So we're going to get to all of that. First, let's kind of introduce myself in case you've never heard me before. My name is James Buchman. I've been trading for the past 18 years. I have my own Discord group, and now I was actually very surprised to see here, but it's very nice. I have my own trading room, and yeah, so NINZA made my own slide for my own trading room. We have a live room every morning where I pretty much give direction and key levels for S&P and the Nasdaq. This morning, for example, if you were in my room, you would know we were buying S&P at 68.81. We were targeting 68.98 and 69.13. Take a look at the high. That's what we were targeting. We did expect a reaction down from 69.13. So that's what I do every day in my room. In any case, let's get to today's presentation. Okay, so Iceberg Finder. Again, this detects institutional activity. However, for this one, you do not need a level 2 data. For this one, level 1 is enough. It's not based on pending orders. It's based on what took place already, trades that were already executed, and so there is no need for a level 2 data. What it does is it identifies first pressure zones. What are pressure zones? These are areas where there is a lot of buying or selling that took place, right? Again, institutional activity, right? We don't move the markets, they move the markets. So it identifies areas of institutional buying, let's say, okay, in this example. And then it waits for things to kind of calm down, start consolidating, and it measures what happens in these areas. Now, it's interesting when I'm looking at this slideshow because we're going to be seeing a very similar thing in a live chart from today. Because you see what happens here. It's kind of small. I don't know if you can see it. But here is a market that is making new highs. Okay, so it's making new highs while all of a sudden the delta is negative. Now, what is the delta? So, delta measures the difference between buyers and sellers, right? So, negative delta means that there are more sellers than buyers. Well, if there are more sellers than buyers, why is the price going up? Well, because it's a fake. It's not really going up. This was just accumulation, and they will just slam it down. We're going to see this in the live chart from today. I was actually looking at it live. It was very interesting to see how this indicator measures either candle by candle or a cluster of candles. I guess it depends how the buying or the selling is coming in. Sometimes it's just in one candle, and other times it's in a cluster of candles. But it kind of follows, and it evaluates again either one candle or a cluster of candles to see if there is a change in delta. If all of a sudden, like we were buying, but there is sellers all of a sudden coming in, and then it can identify an area of reversal. Yes, yeah, so there's going to be a gift at the end, so please stay tuned. it's so okay. So how do I use it? The way I've been, you can use it, I guess, on a very small time frame for entries. That's really not how I use it. There are other indicators you can use for entries. To me, this is an indicator that tells a story. This is an indicator that's going to tell me what is it that institutions are doing right now in real time. Are they buying? Are they selling? Are they just pushing the price up so they can reverse it? That's what this indicator does. So I use it on a slightly higher time frame. I use it on a 3 minute chart, as you'll see in a few minutes. And again, just to kind of understand what is it that institutions are doing. Let me just check one thing here. Okay, so as I mentioned already, it looks for zones. So based on one candle or a cluster of candles, it tries to identify strong buying or strong selling, and that is a pressure zone. Now, the pressure zone, when things come down, the pressure zone becomes an ice zone. And it's in this ice zone that we could see reversals. If price is going up, which creates the buying pressure zone, and then all of a sudden the ice zone goes bearish, that is an indication that now price will probably reverse and we're going to go lower. So it's very visual, as most things with NINZA. In the case of a buying, so here is a case where a cluster of candles create a pressure zone. It measures this pressure zone with an actual number. So you're going to know exactly like how many more buyers than sellers. This creates the pressure zone. The higher the number on the strength bar, the more, I guess, violent this pressure zone is, in this case, to the upside. Right. So the ice zones are then created when kind of things come down a little bit. The market goes through more of a kind of a range consolidation phase. And it's really in those areas that we start to look for reversals. 1 minute, I'm sorry. Let me just do one thing here. Perfect. Okay. So here is a case of a bearish pressure zone. But look what happens first, right? So, and again, we're going to see this on a real chart. Here is a pressure zone. They're buying. Price is pushing higher. And then we enter. So this is the pressure zone. And this is the ice zone. It's an area where there is some consolidation going on and the market starts ranging, right? After a very strong move, either up or down, for the most part, we hit some kind of period where price just kind of goes up and down. It's kind of ranging. And it's going to show you on a chart. You're going to see it's going to show you, in this case, it would be like a negative delta. All of a sudden, after the buying, there is a negative delta, right? Negative delta here, which means, well, there are more there are more sellers than buyers, and then price reverses. And we're going to see there was an actual signal that is generated inside well, not inside, once price breaks the ice zone, there is an actual signal. Again, for me, I don't really go for the signal. For me, it's not important. It's not about the signal. It might sound a bit strange, but to me, this is more about understanding what is going on than look for a signal on this. But there is an actual signal. This indicator generates an actual signal when a price bar breaks the ice zone. So they're going to be talking about the signal now. Again, once the ice zone is broken, then we have a signal. Okay, I don't see a signal here. There was one there. Yeah, here we go. So So here, I don't know if you can see it, really small, but this is an actual, it says ice in pinkish color, which is the actual short signal right here. In other words, we had strong buying pressure, right, that entered a consolidation area, which then turned bearish, and that signaled a reversal in direction. And then they go down. Okay. So this is how it identifies, buy sell pressure. It's based on total volume. So it actually evaluates, as I said, every candle or a cluster of candles to see who is in control. I mean, that's that's the question we always ask, right? Who is in control? Because whoever is in control, that's where the market is going to go. Because while, yes, institution could manipulate a situation temporarily, they cannot keep it going. Eventually, if there are more sellers than buyers, price will come down. Okay, here's another example of what I was talking about. Pressure zone, right? Pressure zone. We see blue bars, and you see this in real time, by the way. Pressure zone, followed by the ice zone. That's the consolidation area. Here is the short signal. We have negative delta, a short signal, and took a while, but eventually price comes down with very heavy selling here. Again, it evaluates every candle to see if there is a really strong selling or really strong buying, as opposed to just like a little strong or a little weak. And yes, all this is customizable, but I didn't change anything. When you're going to see my charts again, I don't change things as is, right? And then on your own, you can adjust things. There are some parameters that you could adjust. I didn't. So as I said, inside the ice zone, now we're looking about for delta. Now we're looking for delta um, to if we're looking for a move lower, the delta should be negative. Once negative delta shows up inside the I zone, we begin to suspect that there could be a move lower. And then if price actually breaks the I zone to the downside, then you're going to see a signal. Okay, now at this point, I would like to show you guys a live chart, as I said, from today. So let me bring it and then find it in Zoom. Okay, now where are you in Zoom? Dun, dun. Okay, all right. So this is the NASDAQ from today in Zoom. And just like we have seen, so as I told you, I'm on a 3-minute chart. I use this as a map. I need to see what is going on, bigger picture. Now, you could also use it on something like a 100 tick chart, and NINZA code does provide settings for a 100 tick chart. I guess that's for actual entries. I don't know if you can really enter, although you could, but obviously a 3-minute chart would just require larger stops. But yes, you could definitely use a 3-minute chart for entries. I use it to just see what is happening. So we have buying. I mean, here it is. This is the ice zone. Let's take it back. First, we have pressure zone, right? Here is pressure zone, negative pressure zone, selling, entering an ice zone, and all of a sudden, we have positive delta. Okay? Price breaks through, and we have a long. Now, when another I zone is created, it begins to look bearish, but price never breaks the low. Continue up, right? So now price continues up. We have buying pressure. You see the continuous candles, those blue candles, that is buying pressure. And now we enter a nice zone. And just like in a slide that just showed you a few minutes ago, We enter an ice zone, and all of a sudden the delta begins to drop. And then the market makes a new high, and now it makes a new high on negative delta. So just like the slideshow we've just seen, now how can it be? How can price go up, right? And you have negative delta. Well, the answer is it can't. This is manipulation, right? So all these people here were thinking, oh, good, now we're going to go higher. No. So this tells you, no, we are not going higher. Price breaks. We have a signal. So here is an ICE signal. So can you use the 3-minute chart for actual entries? Yeah, I mean, you could, as long as you understand the stop is all the way here, right? So you might want to use a smaller time frame, maybe for actual entries. But again, I use this to understand what the market is doing, and then we're just sliding down. It's all pressure, all down. So they try to create like an I zone here, but no, it was just they're breaking through everything. They're breaking, they're breaking, they're breaking, and then breaking again. Very strong selling pressure, right? Very strong. And now take a look at this. So this does not repaint. This is in real time. Does not repaint. Real time. Strong selling pressure, and all of a sudden, positive delta. Positive delta. This is not a cluster of candles. This is one single candle. So sometimes it's a cluster, and sometimes it's just one. Boom. Straight up. Right? One candle after a sell-off identifies the reversal point perfectly. So, right, selling, 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 buying. In this area, am I looking to buy? No. That's what I mean by I use it simply to understand what is it that the market is doing. I'm not looking to buy here. They're selling it here. Not only am I looking to buy, but I'm not shorting it anymore. I don't want to be shorting into this. So what this indicator will allow you to do is to be able to read the market. Now, you might use something else for actual entries, but at least you'll be able to eliminate ones. What is the biggest challenge, right? It's like when whatever indicator you use, all of a sudden starts chopping you around, right? Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. But in this, it should be very clear. You're looking to only sell going into this. After this, you're looking to only buy. So you take almost any indicator and be able to eliminate one side, that's the edge. Okay? All right. What else? So then we go up and we're going strong. We are entering another ice zone. All of a sudden, we have bearish delta. Bearish delta. Okay? Here's the move down. So I guess you could use a 3-minute for entries. I just don't, but you could. You could. Okay? So there you go. Sell. Now selling again, we're entering an ice zone, and now we're in lunchtime. So if you've been if you've been seeing me for a while, you guys know I hate trading lunchtime. It's just terrible. But there is an ice zone identified. However, I don't think a candle breaks through. No, a candle does not break through. So there is no official signal, but there is a change in delta. What does it tell you here? Maybe hold off on selling, right? Maybe hold off. I'm not saying you should be buying, but maybe hold off on selling, right? So um, they kind of double bottom here, a quick spike down, and I don't want to get to this is a separate thing, but if you guys know what a trap is, if anyone here is from my community, you guys know I made a video on that. A trap, right? This is a perfect trap right here. They break the low by a little bit and go the other way. That is a trap. Maybe eventually it's an indicator that NINZA can create. Wouldn't that be cool? But this is a trap. This is straight up. As they they begin, and you can tell already because the delta begins to change here. So that's what I mean by kind of telling me a story, right? I'm looking at this, and I'm not saying I'm buying here, but delta is changing after I move down, and then I see this like a quick spike below. This is a trap, straight up, straight up. All right, but here was something interesting because I was watching this part in real time as I was getting ready for this webinar. Buying. This is the pressure zone to buy, right? Buy, buy, buy. So, what do a lot of retail traders do? Okay, did this ever happen to you? Market's going up, you get in to go long. As soon as you get in long, they go the other way. Did this ever happen to you? Well, as I'm watching this, all of a sudden I begin to see negative delta. So they're buying, and I begin to see negative delta. What does this tell me? Am I saying to go short here? Not necessarily, but I am holding off on buying. You know what? I don't know if I want to buy now that all of a sudden there was negative delta coming in after a pressure zone up. And sure enough, they go down, right? So again, I'm not saying necessarily short this unless you have another reason to short this from your own work or whatnot. Um, but this is at least a hint that this buying, maybe at least temporarily, it's over, right? And now they're probably going to go sideways, right? Just given the time of day. But still, I can't ignore this. And this is a sell signal, if anything, right? So I'm not looking to buy here. Again, if I'm using whatever indicator, I'm trying to find a reason to sell. I'm trying to find a reason to sell, right? So now here we are in real time. So, so I guess maybe because of the time of day or whatnot, you see there was no, the indicator does not identify truly strong, let's say, momentum down, right? Because the candles are not colored. These are regular candles. There is no, for example, there was no this, right? This kind of a hard pink candle. Why do I hear feedback? Sounds like someone's mic is open. NINZACO, if anyone here from NINZACO, could you check the mics, please? I hear I hear chattering going on. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. See if I can find it. Okay. All right. I think I found it. Well, I'm getting good at this. Okay. Um, yeah, so this is where we are now in real time. So, okay. So once again, these number of candles, this is pressure zone. This is the ice zone, and that's when you can start looking for a change in delta. And then the official signal is when a bar breaks below the zone, the ice zone that is created. So this indicator can help you find these areas of reversals, or at the very least, tell you not to go long, even though this looks very strong, right? This looks very strong, but the warning here is no, no. This either we're going to have a pause in buying, in which case you don't want to be long, or we can have an outright reversal, which is what happened. So this is where they are. And let me quickly take a look at any questions that we have up until this point. A 1 minute ES chart. Okay, let's take a look. Now I don't have an ES chart prepared, but we're just gonna wing it. Yes, 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 yes. And you want a specifically 1 minute chart, okay? Keep in mind, you're probably going to have to adjust some of the settings, but your wish is my command. So, okay. So, we have something that just occurred, I guess, right here. Ice zone followed by buying, right? We have buying. We have ice zone, negative delta. Here is a signal short in S&P. Looking back, ice zone. Here is the official signal, long, ice zone, official signal, short. So here is pressure zone. This is a 1 minute S&P, pressure zone, and immediately you know, don't buy here. Don't buy here, right? So again, I'm not necessarily saying go short unless you have something else that kind of gives you an insight that you might want to go short here. But officially, this is just a warning. Don't buy. We could have a reversal. Okay. Again, looking back, what else do we have? Pressure zone, low, selling, right? This is a selling pressure. But once again, ice zone, delta begins to change. So if anything, you don't want to be selling. At the very least, don't go short. So this can already, save you a lot of heartache because, as I said, we all have these situations, right? Market is going down. We go short, market's going up. Market is going up, we go long, market is coming down. Well, that's because they know exactly what you're doing. I'm kidding, of course. They don't care about what you're doing. Okay. It was another ice zone signal, positive delta. Price breaks through. Boom. Here we go. Uh, Signal to sell. Ice zone after a bullish move up. Ice zone, negative delta. Signal going down. Going up, going up. Again, pressure zone on just one candle here. Pressure zone to go down. But once the I zone is created, again, just tells you a heads up, maybe you don't want to be short here. Delta begins to change. Well, watch out on the shorts now. Here is a buy. So again, selling pressure. Here's a perfect example. Selling pressure, right? What do a lot of retail traders do? Selling pressure. Oh, I'm going to short here. That's great. I'm going to, I'm going to short here. Boom. Right. So once you begin to see this, this is kind of green. Delta is changing. Watch out. Watch out. Okay. So. All right, so that's the ES. Let's see any other questions. NINZA short charts using King Renko bars on this. Really, I uh, I don't even have that at all. Could you show one on the Nasdaq? I imagine you would need very different settings on a King Renko bar. So we can still try it. You know what? You came here and I should do what you say, right? So customer is always right. Okay. All right. Let's give this a shot. I can probably well, let's first of all, let's yeah. I did not even imagine using this on a King Renko bar to be honest, but let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Nasdaq. And now let's go and 714, I think you said, right? 714 King Renko. Whoops. King Renko. King Renko. Did you say 714? 714. 74. I'm sorry, 74. 74. Okay. 74 King Renko. Wow. It's really tiny for NASDAQ. You sure about that? Okay. So I'll try it. So, okay. Well, yeah, I guess it's fine. So here is the signal, but boy, things happen fast. You better be able to auto. So I imagine this could work with Captain Optimus. I can't guarantee. So let NinZaCo tell us. Um, I imagine this could work with Captain Optimus because you would need some speed to be able to execute these trades. But yeah, I mean, ice, pressure candles. Let's go back. So there was a short, there was a low. So maybe it does work. What do I know? Here is ice short, ice short, ice long, ice short. Wow, it's a good one. Ice short. Yeah, you see that? Thank you for telling me. I did not even think about King Renko. So there you go. Again, very fast. So you better, and obviously, I'm not even going to mention this. We're talking about scalping. I mean, a 7-4 bar. we- We're talking about scalping. Obviously, we're talking about scalping here. Okay. Ice long, long, long. This one did not work out. Scalp here, scalp here. Wow. I mean, they coming up fast. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess you could. It all depends, I guess, on your style of trading. Um, to me, this would be a little fast. And again, to me, this would not tell me, and again, that's a completely personal thing. It would not tell me bigger picture what is it that the market is doing, right? This is very quick switch back and forth. Now, maybe you could use this. So here's an idea, for example. You can still look at a 3-minute bar for the bigger picture, for the bigger kind of understanding what is it that the institutions want to do, and then use the King Renko bar for quick scalping entries. I mean, that's an idea that could definitely that could definitely be. Does it use lots of RAM? Wow, I know nothing about technology, but I imagine it's like any other indicator. I don't know. I mean, I definitely have no issues with this computer, but this is a pretty powerful computer. I have 64 RAM on this one. Um, Ninja Code 12.4. Ninja Code 12.4. All right. Well, you guys are the boss. I'm just. What do I know? That's Ninja Co. Ninja Renko, I should say. Ninja Renko 12.4. Ninja Renko 12.4. Boy, you guys are creative. Okay. Ninja Renko 12.4. Okay. Okay, ice up, ice down. Again, guys, you gotta use Captain Optimus with this one. It would just happen too fast. Yeah, a bit messy, a bit messy. Um, unless you play, I imagine you would need to play with some of the parameters because it's such a tiny. I mean, it can't be that a 3-minute chart would have the same settings as like a Ninja Renko 12.4. So I imagine if you play around with settings, and Ninja Core might have something as far as the settings go, because otherwise, I mean, the signals are there. It's okay. I guess in my head, that's not what this was created for, and that's just me. To me, something like this is for understanding bigger picture things, but yeah, if you're looking to scalp, it's very possible. I do think King Renko works better than Ninja Renko, just by looking at this. I think King Renko, but in general, a King Renko is a much better bar, in my opinion. King Renko is a superior bar. So, but if you know what to look for, it's still okay. Still okay. I mean, that's a pretty good one. Okay, let's see. Other questions? Yeah, okay, thank you. So Richard is telling us it used the same amount of RAM as any other indicator. Yeah, I saw no issues on my computer. Let's see okay, just reading this. Yes, I did this. No, you do not need a level 2 for this one. Level one is fine because it's not based on pending orders, it's based on what already took place, executed orders. So level one is fine for this one. Uh, I would be careful on a short with positive delta because it's a bit of a conflict, isn't it? Right? So I would be more careful. Just like, I would not be looking to buy if all of a sudden the delta goes negative. That would make me very cautious. And on a 3 minute chart, as I showed you, that's like the first hint that, wait a minute, something is wrong. They could be reversing. To me, this is the true value of this. Is just it reduces your chances of getting sucked into a move that's already over. I mean, how many times does this happen, right? You Everything looks so bullish, you buy, and then it all goes to hell. I shouldn't be using these words. I'm sorry, but you know what I mean. It's just to me, this is the value of this indicator. Yes, you need to activate tick data. That's correct. So make sure that your tick data is turned on. Let me show you what I mean. So here. Tick replay like this needs to be turned on. That is correct. Thank you for telling me. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, then we have, okay, yes, so I just showed 12.4. I believe King Renko is the superior bar, just my opinion. Can I turn on and off delta numbers? Why would you want to? No, I think the delta numbers are essential. I don't see. I'm sure there is a way in the settings maybe to turn it off, but I would not want to turn it off. Okay, so I showed the 1 minute TS. Does the pressure candle? Yes, yes. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to go back to the 3 minute because this is just a bit too fast, and let me go back to the 3 minute. Okay. So yes, you see this in real and you see this in real time. I was watching this actually in real time, as I said, preparing for the webinar. I was watching these, and all of a sudden, I start to see negative delta in in this ice zone, which immediately began to tell me, wow, maybe this is not a good buy. It looks like they want to reverse. So this is the first hint that maybe they want to reverse. And officially, of course, it's not a sell signal. Officially, as you get more experience, you begin to have some insights. And so, if you already expect in this particular area for price to reverse, and you start seeing this, so first a big push, and then all of a sudden things are looking kind of bearish, or at least beginning to look kind of bearish. Well, you know what? If you have certain knowledge, you could be taking a short right here and not even wait for the actual official signal. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Can it be? So I think, and if anyone here from NINZA, let me know. I think Captain Optimus could trade this. Don't quote me and double check with them first. But I think Captain Optimus could trade this. So Captain Optimus is an indicator that simply trades the signals. So it would identify this signal and it would trade the signal. So, and I think you would need that if you're looking to trade very, very small time frames, like a Ninja Renko, like 12.4, or a King Renko 7.4. I mean, those are tiny, tiny time frames, and I think it would just be too fast to do it manually. You probably don't need it if you're trading like a 1 minute or a 3 minute, because there was plenty of time to be ready. Okay, so what do we have? Let's kind of see where we are. Yeah, so here is the sell-off, right? Here is the sell-off. And you already knew back here that perhaps now we have a reversal, and if anything, look for reasons to be short, because despite this, this is a fake out. This whole thing, it looked so strong, it looked so strong, but now, once you start seeing this, you know, um, yeah. Let me get back to the slideshow 1 minute because I do want to finish up the presentation before I forget and wish you a good day and not show you. I've done that too. So let me yeah, let me yeah. Okay. Share. Okay. So all right. So now we know everything about this indicator. So these are the settings that they sent me. So for 100 ticks, so if you want to trade 100 tick, smaller time frame, I took a look at it. Again, just not my style for this kind of an indicator. An indicator, in my opinion now, an indicator that measures institutional participation, let's say, I think should be on slightly higher time frames. Again, just my opinion, because that's how you understand what is it that they want to do. If it's on a very small time frames, I mean, very small time frames, it just, you just too many trees and you don't see the forest kind of deal, right? But anyway, but no, this, I was, I guess I was a bit impressed with the King Renko bar. It actually did well on a King Renko bar. Again, I just think it's not the purpose of it. But in any case, so that's 100 tick. They give you a template for this. They give you for the 3 minute settings over here. Now, even NinZaCo, NinZaCo, keep calling ninjatrader. Oh, they do have a King Renko. See that? I didn't even see that before. So they do suggest settings for the smaller time frame, and I already see the difference in some of the settings. So yeah, I guess if you adjust the parameters, you could have uh, better outcomes if you're looking for the actual signals as opposed to really kind of focusing on what is it that the institutions are doing. Okay, so these are just examples of trades. Of course, a short, right? Here was the signal and a short. We have a pressure zone up, followed by an ice zone that goes negative. Bar breaks, and it's a short, and that's what they are demonstrating here. Okay, how about the gift first? There was a gift. I don't want to forget about the gift. The gift. Okay, so here is the gift. Um, Outside Bar Pro. I don't think I ever used that, but it sounds interesting. Outside Bar Pro. Okay, so this is the gift. So you type this at checkout. Now, the last time it was a bit embarrassing. Someone tried this and it wasn't free. So I should not say it's free. So they say it's a gift. I'm saying it's a gift, but I cannot say it's free. You let me know if you want to try now. You let me know if this is a free or just reduced price. So I don't want to say anything that's not true here. So this is the gift. So this is the code you would use at checkout to receive this gift. And this is the offer for Sonarlike Iceberg Finder 346 or the voucher, $600 voucher. So it looks like if you pay $80 more, you get a $600 voucher. And I guess that's toward another indicator. That's interesting, actually. So yeah, for 80 bucks, yeah, you get $600 voucher. So you can take a screenshot of this or of this. Going to wait a minute and then see if there are any more questions. Okay, right. Let's see if there are any more questions. Okay, so the website told you the code is not valid. Get in touch with NINZA support. Uh, regular Japanese candles. Regular Japanese candles. What are Japanese candles? You're talking about like Hakinashi, or I don't know. I'm not sure what are Japanese candles. Forgive me. Should the pressure candles appear in color? Yes. Yes, they're going to appear in color. Yes, you're going to see this. You're going to see them before the ice the ice zone is created. Yes. Candlestick. So, well, that's what I showed, the candle. So these are the regular candlesticks, right? Um, hold on. So this is what you mean, right? Regular candlesticks. These are regular candlesticks. Okay. Yes, and the signal is in real time also, and it does not repaint. It's not like after the fact, all of a sudden a signal appears. No, no, that's not how NinZaCo does it. It's always it does not repaint. You see it in real time. On bar close, correct. On bar close. Yes. Do you offer a trial? I don't know if NinZaCo offers a trial. I know they have an exchange policy. And again, if you contact their support, they'll be able to tell you more about it. But I don't think there is a trial. There is an exchange policy of some. I think for a certain number of days. I think if you don't like it, you can exchange it for something else, I believe. Okay. Okay, keep looking. Yeah, I think I answered that. Let me again just go back to this just in case. Mm. Right, so they allow you to replace it, right? They would exchange it for something, I guess, of an equal value, right? So no trial, but you will be allowed to exchange, which is, most companies, most indicator companies would not let you do that. But they're very confident with their products, and they will give you a certain amount of days. You don't like it, you can exchange it. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it. Once again, if for whatever reason you want to get in touch with me, where am I? I am here. So that's me. You can email me. Just keep in mind, I am not a programmer, so I don't know like what's really behind all these indicators. I just trade them. So I'll trade them, but I know nothing about coding. Those kind of questions should go to NinZaCo support. Okay. All right. NinZaFamily settings. Hold on. NinZaFamily settings. NinZaFamily settings. Those King Renko settings. I don't think they gave me a NinZaFamily settings. So again, get in touch with their support. I'm sure they have something. Um, this is the King Renko settings, but try these. The 100 tick chart. Yeah, so there are settings for 100 tick chart. Um, so kind of very quickly, I mean, I can show this quickly. Uh, so so this is the, you guys can see it. Yeah. So this is the 100 tick chart. Again, same exact idea. Right, so he would, I mean, this is much faster, but here it's picking up a top. You see how it's pretty good at this. So it's picking up a top based on a change in delta, and there you go. So obviously, 100 tick chart moves very fast. Gotta be scalping. I mean, that's the idea there, right? So you want to be scalping, but it's very precise. It was ice long, ice short. It's pretty good at picking those reversal points. And then again, because it kind of identifies, in this case, on a very small time frame, but it identifies where the activity is. So that's 100 tick chart, and they do have settings for that. It's just okay. Okay, all right. So once again, this is the offer, and just double checking questions one more time. For Bitcoin. I I don't know if they have settings for. I don't even have Bitcoin uh, in my instruments here, so I can't even show you Bitcoin. Um, yeah, I imagine there got to be settings for Bitcoin. I don't know what kind of volume they have. I don't know how liquid this market is as far as futures go. So yeah, I don't know about Bitcoin. Okay. All right then. Thank you, everyone. This was a lot of fun. Email me with any questions. If you're watching this on YouTube, my email should be in the description. My Discord server should be in the description. We do a lot of fun things in our server, and we're looking for our traders to be profitable. And I think we're doing a good job with that. So thank you all, and I will see you next time.